great year for horror and genre movies. Give yourselves a big continued round of applause for being here.
I can't hear you guys. Come on.
Another year. My name is Landon. I am one of your co-founders and your trusty executive director of this here Overlook.
And my name is Michael Lerman. I'm the other co-founder and the director of film programming here.
And you were here to see Drop. It is so heartening. You know, I hope as all you regulars and maybe all you new people know, we are a volunteer-run organization. Everybody who works on this festival is doing it in our free time. We do it because we love horror movies, thrillers, and sci-fi films as much as you. We want you to see every single thing we put and have on here, so it means so much that you keep coming back. Thank you. Thank you most of all to every volunteer. Please give a round of applause for the festival. We could not do this at all without them. They love this stuff just as much as you and us. As do our sponsors. I really want to thank all of them for supporting and sustaining this festival, especially our official sponsors, Shudder, IFC Films, the Academy of Magical Arts, and the American Immersion Theater. Thank you to them and all of our many sponsors you will see on our trailer and our call throughout the festival. Please go support those programs. Many of them are involved with all of our panels. We have panels this year in a brand new panel space thanks to the Westin. And they are all free, so tell your friends if they don't have a badge and they can't get into movies, they should come to our panels. They are for the entire community and city of New Orleans, so please check those out. Please also go to all of the many films that we have here. This is our largest program we have ever had at the festival.
Yeah.
Check it out.
That's because of you guys, too. It's because you're telling your friends, because you're encouraging people to come, and because we love you so much. So thank you.
Speaking of those, we've got a few amazing things in this very room throughout the weekend. So I hope some of you are sticking around afterwards because right after Drop, we are showing the 40th anniversary 4K brand new restoration of Reanimator with Barbara Crampton in the house. Thanks to Fangoria for that. We've also got Ernest Dickerson in here on Sunday for the 30th anniversary of Tales from the Crypt Demon Night. That's going to be a real fun time. What else do we have that you're excited about?
I mean, I'm excited about everything we got going on. We got the Phantom Follies on Sunday.
Yes. We're doing an old-fashioned spook show followed by William Castle's 13 Ghosts 65th anniversary in Illusiono. We're giving you ghost viewers. We're going to be recreating the old spook shows. We've got immersive programs. We have an animatronic at the festival this year. I'm not going to tell you how to find it. Just try. But we're going all out. We're excited to be here. If you are done with movies for the night, check out our 10th anniversary of Shudder opening night party. We've got all sorts of weird stuff going on in there and secrets and hidden surprises, and the Boulay brothers will be hosting a Dracula performance in there.
Yeah, give it up.
And then you can look at the program for the rest. You're here to see a movie. Stop asking us to give you recommendations. Tell us about tonight.
Well, first of all, I want to thank Universal for making tonight happen. They've been amazing partners. Can we get a round of applause for them? I'm not going to say too much about the movie before it begins, but I will say one of the coolest things about programming this festival is that we get to showcase horror legends like David Cronenberg and David Lynch, and then we get to showcase horror legends in the making who are making incredible work right now. And so, do we have any Freaky fans in the audience? Do we have any Happy Death Day fans in the audience? It is my great pleasure to bring to the stage right now, Christopher Landon.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. It's the biggest honor to be here. I love this festival. It's so cool. And this is also one of my favorite cities in the world. I filmed Happy Death Day here. Happy Death Day to you. Hopefully the third one. And a movie called We Have a Ghost. And true story, I got into an Uber today, and he was asking me, "Oh, why are you here?" Everyone's very chatty here, which I love. And I was telling him about the festival, and I have a movie here. And he looked at me and goes, "Wait a minute." He goes, "I was in your movie." I was like, "What?" And he goes, I was an extra in Happy Death Day 2. And he goes, I was at the basketball court scene. And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. And I'm like, how was it? He goes, it sucked. And then I thought he was talking about the movie, and I was like, oh. But he just said that he hated being an extra. Anyways, I'm so grateful for you guys to be here tonight. I hope you really enjoy this movie. If you do, please, what is it, tweet? What do you call it? But go on social media, push it out there. I think original movies need all the help they can get right now. So please support that. Even if you hate the movie, just stay like it. Anyways, enjoy the movie, and I'll see you guys after. Thank you.
Turn off your cell phone.
Enjoy Trump!
And I mean, first of all, I always like to use humor. And I think part of the humor and the camp comes through characters that we recognize. Like Matt the waiter is a waiter we've all had. At some point. And the thing about this movie that's different than the others is that, you know, you're trying to maintain this kind of level of suspense and tension, but it's not really a sustainable thing, and nobody wants to be in that the whole time.
Right.
Because that gets boring.
Right.
And so I always like to try and add another flavor and a couple different flavors to sort of relieve the tension, kind of, so I can build it back up again.
Right.
I don't even know if I answered your question.
That's okay. I want to talk a little bit about casting too, because I think Megan especially is so incredible in this movie. Did it start from script process? Did you have people in mind immediately?
It's funny, whenever I work on something, and in this case I work closely with the writers, and I really don't imagine actors, because I really do try to see the character. But I was watching season 2 of White Lotus, and I saw her, and I thought she was incredible. And it's funny because she spends most of that show sitting across from people at tables, and so I thought, like, this seems right.
It's like an open.
No, but there's just something that's really, I think, likable and relatable and grounded about her. I mean, she's incredibly beautiful and has this charisma, but it's still a grounded kind of charisma that you still feel like, oh, I could have a beer with that person. And we met for coffee, and it turned into one of those really long meetings where we just kind of felt like we knew each other. And for me, that's always like the most important part of casting, is sort of falling in love with the person, you know, and really feeling that in your gut. And I have a lot of shortcomings as a filmmaker, and I'm always in the process of learning, but I feel like casting has always been one of my secret weapons, that I always really feel that so strongly, and people can't convince me otherwise. And so I knew it was her. And then it just became a process of me convincing her to do it.
When you talk about the process of learning, you know, we have a lot of kind of shorthand references to how we talk about this film when we're promoting it, but I'm curious what some of the references are for you going into it, other films that inspired you.
Right away, Red Eye.
And
this was an interesting path, because I was in soft prep on another movie that I was supposed to make, and then that didn't work out, and then this came along, and it was weird because this felt like the Wes Craven movie that I was supposed to make. So this is very much a love letter to him and to that movie. Obviously Hitchcock. But I don't watch a lot of similar movies when I'm making something. I actually almost avoid them, because I just kind of want a clear head. Because then if I watch those, I'm like, oh fuck, they did it better. So it's just easier for me to kind of not do that.
I'm gonna open it up. Does anybody have any questions? Right here.
How did you decide what memes to use?
The question was, how did you decide which games to use?
Most of the memes were in the first draft of the script. So Chris and Jill had picked a lot of those, and they were, you know, there on the page. And then what's funny is that this studio, of course, was like, oh, but we're not using those, right? Because you have to like clear them. You have to like pay those people and find them and do the whole thing. And it was really funny because like some of them had agents, which I was like, why? So it was a very complicated process. And then there were a couple that we ended up changing just for dramatic effect and so forth. But most, I would say most were there from the beginning.
I wonder if there are agents that specialize in names.
I think there are.
Right here.
Yeah, I had a question. You know, we've seen a lot of movies where text messages pop up, sort of like an iPhone. And here the way you did the texting was really interesting. Was that something you came up with or something you talked with the script writers about? How would the text be menacing her in that way?
Yeah, I knew going into it that generally speaking, text messages are boring. And trying to show that, and inserts of phones are awful. And so I knew I wanted it to feel more like an actual conversation. I was trying to almost weirdly I had to build a character out of the visual aspect of those text messages. And so I knew I had a general idea of how I wanted them to look. What I had to do going into this though was every shot where I used the text, we had already predetermined how it would look on screen, and that's why we have the appropriate negative space and how it would move and interact with characters. Sometimes you see, like there's a moment obviously where Henry walks through one of them. And so there was a lot of thought that went into that before we ever started filming.
Did you do a lot of previs to kind of figure out what you wanted it to look like?
No, I kind of worked with some people. I described what I had in my head, and then we had 3 different versions. But they were all relatively close to what I had described.
Yeah.
So it didn't take long to kind of land on what I felt was right.
That's great. It's like its own character. It's so good. Here.
What makes those moments of theatrical lighting where everything kind of goes to black and you said
So just for the back. So the question was about the moments of theatrical lighting where everything goes to black and you had special light.
Yeah, there were 2, it's twofold. One, I knew that I wanted to make this movie be very, very subjective and very much inside of her head. I just felt like that was the better way to kind of keep that sort of sense of tension and dread. And you know, we built this incredible set that we had total control over. You know, we built a 12,000 square foot restaurant on a soundstage and had it was like a fully operational restaurant. But having that kind of control meant that I could do things like that. And so, yeah, it was also a way to, again, it's a movie it's a single location movie. It's people sitting at tables. Like that was one of the biggest challenges when I read the script, was like, oh shit, how do I make this move? How do I make this visually interesting? And so for me, that was another way to do that.
Right here.
Was Chekhov's RC car like always part of the?
Yeah, the question was about Chekhov's RC car, which is, you know, incredible.
It was so that was not in the original script, and there were a lot of changes to the script along the way. But I had that idea in pre-production, and I remember I called the producers and the writers, and I pitched it to them, and they were like, that's either the best idea or the worst idea. And I literally didn't know for sure until we had our first test screening, because I really thought I had shit the bed maybe on that one. But then the audience just like went for it, because it is absolutely ridiculous in the best way possible, I think. And again, whenever I write something or direct something or both, I really do try to watch these things in my head like I'm in a theater, and it's like, what would I enjoy? And I do try to block out a lot of the noise, and that was a moment where I was like, I really want this little boy to like fucking save his mom. So.
I'm gonna say on behalf of the entire Overlook Film Festival, that was the best fucking idea. I think we have time for one more right here.
Thanks for the film, first of all. What's the mastermind from the start? The old guy who was the other first dater, or did you go back and forth? Who could have been the mastermind in the film?
Yeah, was there any debate in the script process? Of
In the
who
script
could be,
process.
who could be the
Oh
best?
god, it was completely different. It was
Oh,
very
wow.
yeah. In the first draft, it was a revenge plot, and it ended up it was her dead husband's brother who was behind it and was tormenting her to get revenge. But I also had a problem with it because I was like, well, wait a minute, if she has never seen him before, why is he so pissed? Like, how good was that relationship? And I'm not shitting on the writers because they did a great job, but it was just one of those like things that I immediately identified when I read the first draft, and I just felt like, that felt dicey. The movie also ended in the restaurant before, and so there were a bunch of changes that happened along the way, but that actor, that was one of those auditions where I was looking at. I just auditioned the role of her sister, and which is Violet, played by Violet Beaton, which is confusing because Violet's the name of the character, but different person. And then the casting director showed me his tape. He had just self-taped.
Yeah.
And he was so fucking creepy.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like charming, but he's also like spectrum-y and like all over the place. You know? So
Yeah.
like,
And when his face is gray, like right at that last moment, it's
Yeah.
just like it's perfect. It's like wears well on his face.
Yeah.
It's great. We have to wrap up and turn the theater, but I want to thank you so much for coming down here and doing this.
thank you for watching.
Tell everyone you know, go see Drop.